Why, hello to you. Today I want to bring you a short sequence for the hips, for which most of us could use assistance with, whether we spend a lot of time sitting in any kind of chair, in a car, at a desk. If we don't spend a lot of time lengthening all of the muscles connected to the hips, including the hamstrings and the glutes, I don't know, a lot of us end up with a lot of tension and low back problems and all manner of things, including a good deal of mental emotional stress, which finds its way into our hips over time, creating more of that like chronic tension that we might feel. So let's just do a little short sequence to say hello to those hips and perhaps feel a little better even in as short as a 15-minute time period. Let's start on the back. All right, so on your back, maybe hands on either side of the rib cage here. We're going to start just by taking a few breaths where we're a little more aware of how we're breathing. So just for a moment, feel your body resting wherever you happen to be, and allow your shoulders, your head, the backs of your hips just to drop earthward here. Notice and feel the breath in the body. And do your best to relax through the shoulders and the mouth and the jaw. Walk your feet in just a little bit toward the tail and just a little bit further apart. We can take the arms out to the sides. We can keep them close to the belly or chest. Your choice. We're just going to start to really slowly take the knees from side to side. As you're doing this, tune into different sensations that you might be feeling in your hips or lower back, and do slow down or speed up depending on what it is that you happen to need. We'll just do one or two more here. And knees come back to center. I'm going to send the legs up one at a time, maybe stretching out the hamstrings a little bit here. So right leg reaches up, could support behind the back of the leg. Press up and out through the heel. Imagine dropping your toes down toward your nose. So whether or not this is possible for you right now, to straighten your leg doesn't matter. You don't need to straighten your leg all the way. The idea is just to create length through the back of the leg. So even if that means your knee is bent slightly, it is all good. You can hold on to a pant leg. If you happen to have a towel or a yoga strap, you can place it around the bottom of the foot. Take a few deep breaths here, extending this leg up towards sky. Doing our best to breathe in and out through the nose. We can point the toe and flex the heel. Make some circles with that ankle if we'd like. And let's let this one go and send the left leg up. So reaching and extending the left leg now, pressing out through the heel, dropping the toes down. Again, to the best of our current ability. This leg does not need to be straight. Straight-ish will do you fine. Taking a breath or two here. Again, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Point and flex, a circle or two. Beautiful. All right, let's do a version of pigeon pose, supine pigeon. This can also be practiced multiple ways. If you happen to fold your leg like so, so right over left, just below the left knee here, and this feels like a stretch to you, this feels like you're doing some work, stay here. If you feel like you could use a little extra, we're going to lift up this left foot. Right hand's going to go through the little triangle the legs make to the back of the left thigh, interlace the fingers. Take a deep breath in and exhale, and just draw these legs a bit closer to the chest. Again, find your own range here. Your body kind of lets you know when to stop. There's no reason to push it. We can stay right here. If we happen to be a bit more flexible in the hips, a bit more open in the hips, you may find that it feels better to place your hands over the shin. So that's an option as well. Find something that works for you. We're just going to stay for a few breaths. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. You may find in this position that your right knee wants to kind of collapse in toward your chest. As we're trying to open the hips, separate them and create space, we want to draw this hip away from the body by kind of pushing the knee away. Stay here for another breath or so. Feel free to adapt and modify as you wish. Beautiful. Let's place this left foot back on the ground here. Then right. Cross left ankle just below right knee. Again, if this is a good spot to be, stay right where you are. Another option that could also work instead of this, and I should have mentioned it a moment ago, would be just to roll onto the right hip if you find that this is about enough work for you. This is too much, but you could use a little bit more. This is also an option. All right, so lifting up right foot, taking left hand through the little triangle the legs make for the back of the right thigh, interlacing fingers. A little flexion in both feet. Hanging out here, hanging on here, or perhaps reaching for the shin if you're nice and open in the hips. Take a few breaths. Beautiful. Nice. Let's let this one go. All right. So feet about hip width apart. Walk the feet in just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Plant your shoulders on the ground. Hands are going to be down along the sides, right? Ground through your feet. On the next inhale, just lift your hips up a little bit. This could be a little bit or a lot. We can be nice and gradual about it. So lifting those hips up, lifting those hips up. As you're lifting your hips here, feel the weight sink and kind of register in your shoulders, the backs of your shoulders, the back of your head. The back of your neck should be pretty long. The chin should be kind of tucked in toward the chest here. Really ground through your feet. Connect to your mat or just the floor, whatever you happen to be working on. Take a breath or two. This bridge pose. And when you're ready, with an exhale, lower those hips. I'm gonna draw the knees into the chest, a little rock from side to side. And when you're ready, just roll over onto one side and up to fours. All right. So from a kneeling position, we're not going to be here too long, but if you've got knee issues of any kind, you could use a little extra support on your knees. You could fold your mat in or do whatever it is that you need to support and protect your knees. We're going to take a pretty big step forward with the right leg here. So there should be a good deal of space between your right ankle and your left knee. The feet and the legs should be about hip width apart, not much narrower and not any wider. And we're just going to sink these hips down and in. So I'm kind of feeling like my upper body wants to lean forward here. You can lean forward if that's what's working for you. You can also lift your chest and your belly off your right thigh. Feel yourself ground through this right foot. Feel yourself ground through the top of your back foot, your shin. Take a few deep breaths here and just ease on into this left hip and notice what you're feeling sensation-wise. If you want to add a little extra, you could add a mudra like Anjali Mudra by bringing the hands to the heart. Mudras are sometimes interpreted as meaningful gesture. This one is a gesture of reverence. Sitting here perhaps, maybe reaching the arms skyward, opening the fingers, active through the hands and the fingers, and maybe we take the gaze up. We're still sinking down with those hips. Another breath or two right here. Beautiful. Lower the arms. Begin to straighten the front leg. Now, again, this leg doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Could be a little bend in the knee. Fold a bit over the center here. Really gradually folding from the hip. Then maybe releasing the head, tuning in again to all the places that you're maybe feeling a stretch or discomfort. And breathing a little more deeply with a little more awareness. Just another breath or two here. Beautiful. Let's take this right knee back to meet the left. Left foot forward, right knee back. Again, can we sink in with these hips? I want to mention, if you're doing this and you notice that your knee is going way beyond your toes when you bend, you need to walk that foot forward more. What we're looking for alignment-wise is for the ankle to be about under the knee when we're kind of fully in the bend. All right, sinking into this right hip now. Maybe we do Anjali Mudra. Maybe we lift up the arms. Woo. Feel a little unstable. Anjaneyasana is the name of this pose in Sanskrit. Hang out, breathe, do what you wanna. When you're ready to let it go, let's offload that front knee there. Draw the weight back toward the left hip. Maybe we come up onto the left ankle. Maybe we gradually make our way down with the weight of the head. Stay for a breath or two. Beautiful. All right. Let's keep going. Just a couple more. Just a couple more. We're keeping it short. All right. Bend one leg in front. Other's going to go behind. So it stacks up like this. In my case, I've got my left foot on the inside of my right thigh. This is kind of like some version of pigeon pose because we're going to create a bit of a compression with our body weight over this front leg. So sort of steer yourself in the direction with the belly button, aim your belly button toward your front thigh and slowly begin to come down. Now, you come down as far as you want to come down, as far as this feels good to you. A lot of grass in the way here. Because of that, I'm not going to sink my face into the ground here. But typically what I would do is bring my forehead down to the earth and just completely relax and compress with my upper body weight, my thigh. So this is a variation right here. You can feel a stretch from my hamstring into the glutes, into the outer hip muscles. You can do any variation of this that you'd like. It's a really informal posture. I mean, that kind of goes with anything that we do. You can do any variation that you'd like. Let's switch legs. Other foot, inner thigh, back leg behind. Sit nice and tall. Steer your belly button toward the center of that front thigh. Lower yourself down. Feel that compression and feel how that starts to create space and a stretch on that right side body. Maybe it's your right, maybe it's your left. And breathe. If you can let your head go, if you can ground yourself completely, wonderful. If it's not happening today, all good. A few more breaths right here. And inhale your way back up. Close out with one more. All right, bringing the bottoms of the feet together. All right, if you look down at your feet, think about opening your feet like the pages of a book. May or may not happen. It's just a suggestion. It's just the direction that we're leaning in. And speaking of leaning in, we're going to take our upper body, lead with your heart. So instead of like rounding the spine and kind of hunching over here, we're going to keep our spine upright and move from the hip and from the chest until we can't go further anymore. When you reach that spot, then maybe we wrap the hands around the feet, and then maybe we begin to round the spine and just gradually surrender the weight of the upper body, the neck and the head. Let gravity do its job here. Allow the breath to flow in and out of the nose. When you're ready, lift yourself back up to seated. Sit however you want. But tune in, check in with yourself. Maybe the eyes are closed, maybe the eyes are not. Either way, we're just noticing how we are feeling physically, where your mind went, where your thoughts are. Maybe what your energy feels like. Maybe feel a little bit more tired, a little bit more relaxed. Maybe no change. Maybe feel energized. It really only takes a few minutes and a few movements to start to bring a bit more mobility into the legs and the hips and circulation, and hopefully a little bit of relief from tension and stress. So thank you for joining me today for a short hip sequence, hoping that you found it beneficial. Feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with you again soon. Thank you.